Have you ever wished you could drive a different car every day of the week? I was lucky enough to meet with Jaguar Land Rover's The Out, who provide a luxury car rental service to those unable to own a car in the city. Could this be the future of car ownership? Hello, Tom.
Hey James, how are you doing?
I'm doing really well, thanks. Even better to have you guys at The Out on. You're a brilliant new addition. How are you doing?
Yeah, really good. Just recovering from a very busy summer. In a good place right now.
That sounds great. So we actually insure you guys at The Out. So we understand that you have been very busy and you've got lots of news to share in this episode of Flock Fridays. So really looking forward to delving deeper there.
Yeah, so am I. Yeah, let's get into it.
So Tom, I'm going to ask you first, can you tell us who you are, who The Out is and what you do?
So The Out is a premium on-demand car rental business. It is 100% owned by Jaguar Land Rover. We were created in order to answer a question, which is what do people who live in London and Manchester and the other major cities of the world do when they can't own or don't want to own a car? And car rental is the obvious solution. So what we are is we get people in the car they want to be in, we deliver it to their door, and we're completely honest and transparent about the pricing, and people seem to love it.
Excellent. So are they electric Jaguars?
So we rent out Jaguars and Land Rovers. Some of them are electric, most of them are hybrid, and some are still diesel.
Amazing. I mean, I've looked at your website. It's a brilliant website, by the way. And the selection, the range that you have, they just look incredible. I am very envious. I want to be driving one myself.
And that's what we're tapping into, right?
You intend to encourage access over ownership. Why is this?
I guess there's a couple of points to this. One is it's just a way that the world is shifting anyway. If you look in fashion, Airbnb, and the rise in property ownership, it's just the way that things are moving. And so it makes sense that the automotive market should also have that. But there's a kind of a wider piece which is around sustainability. And I think if you look at some of the studies that have been done, the impact of reducing car ownership on emissions and on congestion as well is really powerful. I think the C40 cities, which are some of the top 40 cities in the world, commissioned a study recently which set a kind of an aspirational target of reducing car ownership to between 0 and 19%. And that had a really significant impact. So for me, part of it is responding to consumer and part of it is responding to the wider situation that we're all in.
Excellent. So we spoke with Zenzik actually in the last episode of Flock Fridays. They painted us the future of 20 years ahead and how the world might look like with self-driving cars, access over ownership. Perhaps very few people will actually own their own cars. Yeah, really interesting to hear your take on that. So Tom, as I said, I looked on your website and I've seen the fleet that is on offer. Can you tell us a bit about your fleet of Jaguars and Land Rovers?
We have everything from the Discovery Sport, which is a great car, really functional, 7 seats, you can get a bike rack on it, and that kind of works really well for taking the family away for a weekend. And then you go all the way through to the F-Type, which is a sports car, which people are taking out for long weekends, as a couple or as two mates or whatever. That's a bit of fun. And then you go all the way up to the SVO vehicles, special vehicle operations, which these are like the really high-end Jaguar and Land Rovers, where it's something that people really aspire to and they want to try out, and we're giving a different audience an opportunity to drive those cars.
Are there any really interesting bits of news that have caught your eye in the motor industry or wider recently?
Well, look, I think we're all really focused on what's going on with electric and what's going to happen when. Tesla's obviously been doing a lot of innovation in that space for a long time, but the ones that I'm more interested in are actually coming out of China and then out of some of the smaller manufacturers. So over in China, we have NIO, but also, actually more interestingly, a company called XPeng, and really kind of showing that a Chinese national electric player is punching its weight in Europe, is coming over here and is going to start to shake things up. And I think healthy competition is really exciting in that space. So,
well, Tom, that is the end of my questions. It was absolutely brilliant to have you on and hear more about The Out and your innovative business model.
Thank you. No, I've really enjoyed it, and I'm really enjoying the Flock Fridays anyway, so it's great to be a part of it. So thank you for having us on.
Well, brilliant to have you on, Tom. To everyone at home, let us know what you thought of this episode. If you have any other questions for Tom, do feel free to comment them below and we will get back to you there. Thank you very much for coming on, Tom.
Thanks a lot. I'll speak to you soon.